And we are live. What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I'm back. We are back for another day, another week, and almost another month as we're closing out July, getting ready to roll into August. Hope July has been kind to you. Hope July has been a kinder month to you than it has been to me. I can tell you that right now, July has been pretty rough in terms of the player prop world, but we move on to a new day, new week. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. We're going to be breaking down some player props today, taking your questions using props.cash, using the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer to help us find some value across the industry. Hopefully we can build out some profitable slips, PrizePicks, underdog, Betr, and then be done with the day. Try to keep this at about an hour today. What's up, T? All damn day. Hashtag bless. As we always start off, 10% US population dies in their sleep every single night. You do not. You woke up. You're blessed. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. What could be better than waking up? Probably playing on Betr once you wake up. First time deposit match up to 250. Pretty cool promo they got going on today. Paul Skeens over 0.5 strikeouts, 93% off that original line of 7.5. So I'll be building out a slip on Betr for sure. Taking the over on this one. If you haven't signed up on Betr, use my QR code. Sign up using that QR code. Pretty good deal here. Let's hop on over to the PrizePicks board. I'm going to pull this up. It was giving me some issues trying to locate my, trying to figure out my location. For some reason, it's acting as if it's never logged me in before, but we're up and running with the PrizePicks dashboard. If you're new to the channel, new to the stream, welcome. Let's try to dig through some player props today on PrizePicks. I like kind of walking us through all the value that I can find using the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer. If you're not familiar with OddsJam, we're going to use it in real time. If you're not familiar with props.cash, OddsJam, we use these in real time on all live streams. OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer is what I have access to. I live in Texas, so we can't bet the books, so I can't use the sports betting app, but we will be using the Fantasy Optimizer today. 30% off your first month. That's my promo code on the screen. If you like what you see, try it out for yourself. If not, no harm, no foul. We'll also be using props.cash today. Thanks 25 is my promo code. I got promo codes for days on days on days. Thanks 25. Get 25% off your first month using my promo code over on props.cash. We're going to head over to the Fantasy Optimizer now. We'll pull that up. We can look at pretty much any pick'em site that's on the board. Now, not all pick'em sites have great value, so just keep in mind that we are at the mercy of the lines. What I love about this optimizer is that it does kind of give you a one-stop shop in terms of chances to hit, data points, so you can find discrepancies in the market. So if there's a play that you don't like on PrizePicks, maybe it looks like a better play on Underdog or Betr or another pick'em site. Just kind of gives you all the information in one spot. On PrizePicks right now, you got a lot of esports plays, a lot of value opening up right now. We can, we may be able to build a slip out using all these esports plays. We just got to be careful that we don't include two players on the same team. So it might eliminate some options. Over on Underdog, we should be finding value on Underdog as well. Once they start dropping these esports plays, they usually drop them across the industry. So PrizePicks, Underdog, Betr, wherever you can find esports plays, they'll be available. So all the value should be available to us here. Paul Skeens under 40 strikeout or under 40 strikeouts. Yeah, under that, under 40 fantasy points is one of the top plays. But here are a few more esports plays. LeBron James under 6.5 assists. This is a play for Wednesday. Probably want to jump on that. Although there aren't many data points to it, but you're getting a pretty big discrepancy there. We got this Ionescu under points. Been on the board for a while now. So we got some value now. We got some value on the board now. We can definitely build out a slip on Underdog, on PrizePicks. T said, you think he gets 8 tonight? Skeens? Shit. Hope he gets 1 so we cash that better. We can definitely look at his his numbers on props.cash. Let's make an all green slip 50% or higher. Let's do it. Let's do one on PrizePicks first. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on the way in. Also, if you guys don't have your notifications turned on, turn those notifications on. I drop YouTube shorts in the afternoon. So I drop player prop short in the afternoon, 60 seconds. Just going over my top 3 value plays on the board using this optimizer, but I'm using a mobile app. Betr, PrizePicks, Underdog. Just no breakdown, just boom, 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 real quick. So if you need an extra play in the afternoon, there you go. Didn't do so well yesterday, 1 and 2 on the day. But prior to that, I think it was 4 consecutive days of 2+ wins. So 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 0, 2 and 1, and then yesterday was 1 and 2. I think. Not bad. All right, so first play on PrizePicks that looks like a strong under is this phenomenon under 10 first 2 map headshots, because PrizePicks has this line set to 10, getting a 56% chance to hit. You're also getting two player prop sites that have it at 8 and 9.5. So it feels like that PrizePicks has it set a little high. Those are the things that we look for. The next one is this Tumazin under 32.5. Same thing here. You're getting 2 books that have this set to 30.5. So 2.5 kills higher. I'm gonna skip over this Paul Skeens. It is against Houston, and Houston typically does not strike out a lot. We can go back and look at all his numbers on props.cash to get a better feel for this one. Here's another one, 31.5, 31.5. We got this over on Sadson. First 2 map kills. There's another discrepancy there we can look to take advantage of. Browns Fornen. Oh man, 16.5, 17.5 is what you're seeing in terms of data points. You got the over 14.5 because that's a 3.5 kill discrepancy. Just want to make sure we don't have any 2 players from the same team. Cybershoke Esports, you got Beastia, you got MIBR, and then you got, that's it. All right, so we need 2 more on this slip to make it a profitable or a plus EV slip. So we cannot play this exit because we already have a player from that team. So we need to skip. It'd be great if we can find an Imperial play and kind of create some correlation here. We got some correlation here. Ryu Jin, opposite of this Cyber Shoke under. We like a over though for some proper correlation. So we would got an under there. If we put this one in, it will also be an under. Let's skip it. Can't play him. Let's see. Bestia. That play is going under. And then if we can get a play for the other side, Intense, an over. We got one here. And we got 2 data points. So we like that one. There's 5 plays right there. And we may just have to go with one of these other players from the opposite team, even though it is an under. It's not the best correlation, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 plays. It is this easy just to kind of go through and look at the data points and just select the data points. And that's it. I mean, if you are strapped for time and you don't have a lot of time to break down plays and to dig into the research, especially with esports, where, you know, it's sometimes digging into these game stats and these game logs not accessible, using an optimizer just to help you speed up that process. We already have a movement on this fucking line. So Tamazin is got bumped down to 31. It was at 32. So now we have to go back and take a look at this. It is still it's still a pretty good line just because it's still 1.5 higher than the other 2 books. But is there another Bestia we can put in there that hasn't been bumped up without dipping into the yellow? We want to make an all green slip here. I'm going to keep it in just because it's still a line higher than the other books. So hopefully I didn't miss a play. Hopefully we got players from different teams and it's not going to limit us. All right, cool. So there's our first slip, all green slip, all esports plays, all 54% chance to hit or more. There's a PrizePicks link or jargon in the chat. It's not a hyperlink, so you have to copy and paste it. What's up, Travis? Another 45 units this weekend. I'm using props made easy. Nice, man. Congrats. You're having a much better July than I am. April, May, June, strong. Boom. July's been my wall. Not gonna lie about July. All right, let's clear this out. So there's our first plus EV slip on the stream using the odds jam optimizer. Let's head over to Underdog. Let's see what value is available for us here. Let's see if we can get a slip in today on Underdog. I don't have my phone in front of me, so we'll have to pull up the Underdog sites, which is slow sometimes. All right, so while that's loading up, all right, so let's see what we got here. So again, we're looking for 6 plays. Underdog does give out the best payouts on a 6 pick. Their 6 pick perfect, you know, lineup is still 25x, but if you get 5 out of 6, it is a 2.6 payout versus PrizePicks 2x payout or Betr fantasy is just 1x. So, or maybe 1.5, doesn't matter. 2.6 is higher than 1.5. So Paul Skeens is in two. Paul Skeens has a line on 2 different pick'em sites and under on both of those. We may need to look into that one. LeBron James assists. We already saw that one earlier this morning. Ionescu is at 9.5. Her line got bumped down to 9 and then it got bumped up to 9.5. All right, so we got a couple esports plays here. So we got Phelps and MXA. I already know those are in good spots to hit based off the percentage, and each of them have 2 data points, 11.5. He set the 10.5 here, so it's a little lower on underdog. And then you have lines of 28.5 and 29. You're getting a discrepancy of 2 and 1.5. So those are pretty strong. JT Thor under 8.5 points. Only 1 data point here. Sometimes when these lines get released too early, you're not going to have very many data points. You can just give it more time and see as the books start to take action on it, then you'll start to see those lines with more information. But this game is not until Wednesday, so pretty early. LCMM team solid. You got them going under headshots and kills. Can we get multiple data points? We can. 7.5. His line's at 8.5. 25.5 on his first 2 map kills. That's the better line in my opinion. There's a wider discrepancy. Man, there's a lot of value on underdog. What do we have right now? We have 1, 2, 3. Man, there's a lot of value on underdog. Let's see. Imperial, MIBR. Don't I already have one? Yeah, I already have him. Intense. Team solid. All right, so we can't put any more of those dudes in there. Mariel Shayok. This one might be one to look at. We already have 2 data points here, under 15.5 on DraftKings, and then I guess FanDuel is offering the same line at 16.5. They're giving you the under 15.5 on DraftKings, and underdog has it at 16.5. So if the under is being favored at a point lower, you can get it at a point higher. Doesn't the under make sense? Oh, all right. So there's 4 plays on underdog right there. Team solid. We already have somebody selected for that team. Sometimes with these esports plays, you'll see a lot of players from the same team. You just can't play multiple players from the same team or even in the same game because underdog will reduce your payout, which we don't want anything to do with that. So now we're getting into the red. So we actually don't have enough to build out a full 5 or 6 pick of all green, unless we want to throw in this Skeens under, James under, Ionescu under, or this Kale under 1.5. There's literally like no information on this guy. We could throw in this Skeens. Let's head over to props.cash. Let's just look at Paul Skeens today because he has a fantasy score set to 40.5 on both PrizePicks and underdog. You can still play the over on his strikeout prop over on Betr and take the under on his fantasy score. I mean, he's going to get 1 strikeout today. He's been averaging roughly 9 over his last 9 games, 8 over his last 10. The issue is that Houston does not strike out a ton. They are under 20% on the season versus righties. That is good for, I think, top 5 in the league. When we look at BVP, there is none. when we look at right-handed pitching, 1, 2, 3, I bet you one of those guys is John Singleton. John Singleton has a 23% strikeout rate. Who has a 34? Loperfido and Singleton, Loperfido, Jake Myers. Okay. I mean, it's not a matter of can he get 8 strikeouts. Basically, it's can he get 41 fantasy points. So if he gets 8 strikeouts, that's 24 fantasy points. If he pitches, he's been, 25 outs. That's basically pitched into the 8th inning. If he's been averaging 19, let's say he gets you 19 outs. That's the lower of this range, right? 19 plus 24 is 43. At that point, it's going to be dependent on his earned runs. He gives up 2 earned runs. That's 37 points, but he'll qualify for that quality start bonus. So that's 41. So end with about 41 points. I think that's like a good average. Now, if this Jake Bloss dude gets blown up and the Astros can't match the run scored, then you got to factor in a win for Paul Skeens, and that'll put him at 47 fantasy points. So I don't know if this guy can keep the Pirates from scoring runs. Minus 157 to go over his earned runs of 1.5. He's projected for 3. Paul Skeens is projected to give up less than 2. He'll probably give up 2. So 3-2. If Paul Skeens exits the game and the Pirates have the lead, then he'll probably get the win. So I'm going to stay away from his fantasy score, to be honest with you. I don't like that one. His strikeouts at 6.5, is that a line that we can play on underdog? I think if that was a true line, we would see it on the optimizer. So I'm going to stay away from this Paul Skeens. I'm not really feeling that one. We only have 4 plays on. We could definitely look to this Ionescu. I've played her already. I've put her in her 1 slip already. We can definitely put this in a 2nd slip. That game's at 2 o'clock today. That gives us a 5 pick. If we want to make it a 6 pick, we can add this LeBron James in at 6.5 assists under. Or we'll have to go into the yellow, maybe even the fucking red. Over 6.5 fantasy score for UPTO. Yeah. I know there are more data points for this one, but here's a tennis prop. Only 1 data point. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot down here. Maybe we just stick with a 5 pick for underdog. May and June was your wall. You broke through. Nice. I guess August will be my breakthrough. What's up, Mark? It's good, man. Taking Wonder from my property and going to over Betr. Oh, if you're gonna go sign up on Betr, sign up with my QR code. I appreciate that. That's smart. You just take that money. Well, take money out for yourself, but then transfer some money from Pick'em site to Pick'em site, you know, and that way you just keep it going. And then that way you're not really having to deposit anything, you know. Smart. All right, so let me start building out this slip over on underdog. All right, we got Phelps. All right, let's go. Ionescu under her points. Phelps under 30. First 2 map kills. All right. If I can properly type here. We got MXA over 10.5 first 2 map headshots. Somebody got removed. ICMM under 25.5 first 2 map kills. That person's not available. This is what happens on Underdog more than any other pick'em site. Is a lot of these plays, they just get a lot of these esports plays get moved fast. So, man, I hate to do it. We're gonna have to refresh the odds jam optimizer because a lot of these plays, I mean, within a few minutes, they've already been moved. I'm not touching Paul schemes. We got this under Eloy Jimenez, 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. There's LeBron James again. Got 2 data points now. Let's start off with this Ionescu again. Let's go Phelps. That's 2. Now we got this Flamus. JT Thor. ICMM. I just tried to put him in. Or is it LCMM? It might be LCMM. Definitely not. Nope. That guy is not available. Is it 1? Nope. So this guy, this person is not on Underdog. I don't know how to type his name in. He's not there. So we can't play him, which kind of sucks. No way. No way under 27.5. Really good discrepancy there. So we got no way. We got Phelps, but we can't play them because they're in the same game. So this is the struggle. Trying to build out an esports slip unless you have players from multiple teams, multiple games, it's hard because Underdog is going to limit your payout. All right, so we have this Giannis line of 40.5 PRA. You're getting 3 lines that like the, I mean, you're getting 3 lines with a higher line of 41.5. So let's put him in there. That's a good one. That wasn't on the screen a few minutes ago. All right, so Giannis. Appreciate y'all being here. Not the most compelling stream as you build a slip. It is literally just typing names in and going back and forth to different screens, and that's really it. But better to do it in good company. More fun to do it with other people. This is so weird. I'm literally typing Giannis's name in here and it's not pulling up anything. That's crazy. So maybe that line was just too good. We're gonna have to refresh this shit again. Maybe I say fuck Underdog this morning because it's starting to really piss me off. Trying to build out a slip on the Underdog is not easy. Maybe just say fuck Underdog since it doesn't want to cooperate with us. Giannis is right there. I mean, no results were found for. I feel like I'm going crazy here because I'm literally typing this dude's name and know how to spell his name, at least the first 3 letters of his name. Yeah, nothing's popping up for Giannis, but he's showing on the optimizer, so we just got to move on. We just got to move on. LeBron James under assist. I really like that Giannis play. That was a good play. I mean, to get 3 different lines on this one, that's a good play. All right, moving on. Damn. If you play on underdog, I know this is frustrating. I'm not really like helping you out right now. Trying to find some good plays, but a lot of these plays are being bumped or taken off the board immediately. So not a whole lot we can do about that. Like this one here. This other player from the South Sudan looking to take the under on his points. I really didn't want to play that LeBron James just because I like to have a few more data points to look at, but just because they're just removing plays, taking them off the board, really kind of don't have a choice. And it is a plus EV play. We got to move on. Got a hitter fantasy score of Spencer Steer over 7.5. 2 data points there. Simeon Woods, I can't stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy, man. He pisses me off. He's the most frustrating dude to roster on a slip. Like nobody pisses me off like SWR. Him and Christopher Sanchez. I think Chris Sanchez is another one of those pitchers I just got to stay away from. If you guys have any plays for underdog, or if you've already played a slip, let me know. Put a play in the chat, and we can throw them on this slip. But right now, we are struggling to create a 5-pick because of all the movement. So far, this is what we got. We got Sabrina under, Phelps under, LeBron under, Mario under. I mean, sometimes you just play we're playing the lines, the best lines. We're not really focusing on whether they're unders or overs. Whatever's grading out the best. That's what we're gonna play. This Keys over 7.5. That one might be okay. Keys. We might have it here. All right. We got Keys over, headshots, no way, under for Shayok, under for LeBron, under for Phelps, and under for Ionescu. Hey, if you don't, oh, look. So we are getting some negative correlation here. Where is it? Because of Phelps. Yep. So we can't play no way because that's the same game as Phelps. So we got to take no way off the board. So we're back to the optimizer. We need one more play. Let's see. Spencer Steer over 7.5 batter fantasy score. Let's take a look at Cincinnati versus Chicago. Let's take a look at total bases. We'll start there for Spencer Steer. There he is. All right. For hits, runs, and RBIs, he has minus 155 odds to go over, plus 115 to go under. He's projected for 2.3 hits, runs, RBIs. We're looking at fantasy score. So 2 points for an RBI, three points for a single. That's 5. And we need, that's 2 right there. Numbers against Jamison Tyon in 8 plate appearances, only batting 250 with a home run, a double, and an RBI. It's not bad. Against righties, I don't like that one. We need one more play. We'll refresh the screen. We might have to look at this Eloy under 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. It was much easier to build a slip out on PrizePicks. This has been brutal. So minus 140 to go over 1.5, but the odds or the line on underdog is 2, so he needs 3 to go over. But this is saying that he gets you at least 2. Minus 140 are pretty strong odds. So push potential is in play. I don't like it. Not all these plays are good. Got to be honest. Not all of them are going to be good. Bobby Witt under 2.5 bases. Man, this one is a good play. It's just not pulling up on underdog. Just not pulling up. Nope. So there's I guess there's just some error going on with that particular play. It's just not available to us. Under pitcher fantasy score for Alec Marsh, you got 3 data points. Team solid. Legacy, do I have that guy, or do I have those teams up on here? I don't think so. I think we could play that one. All right, what's that person's name? All right. Oh, nice. Okay, so we can play that one. We can play this Zareba under 27 first 2 map kills. Here's what we got. My God. Over keys headshots, and then under. Oh my God. Are we going to be able to submit an underdog? The following projections are inactive. Phelps on maps 1-2 got removed. Guys, I'm already sick of underdog. I'm already sick of underdog. We got to take this dude out. Let's just put a 5 pick in here. I want to at least put 1 slip in there for underdog. There you go. Good Lord. That was brutal. That was brutal. There's our slip right there. A 5 pick. There's our 5. All right. That was terrible. A lot of these plays on underdog were getting bumped and removed. A few of them weren't even showing on underdog. So there's some discrepancy where we can't even play a play. It's like the name doesn't exist. And then also just keep in mind with underdog, you cannot play 2 guys from the same game, not the same team, but the same game, because underdog will reduce your payout. They do not allow correlation, that type of correlation. So you got to be real slick on how you build your esports plays. Over here on underdog, Paul Skeens over earned runs just popped up. So that's a lot of data points for the over. So this works well with the under on his fantasy score, but what's going to crush that line is if he gets his 7-8 strikeouts and also goes 7+ innings. If this guy pitches deep into the 7th inning, he's gonna have to get, if he goes into the 7th inning, I don't think he's giving up more than 2 earned runs. I cannot see him in the game if he's getting destroyed. If the Astros get to him and put up 3, 4, 5 earned runs, I don't think we see Skeens in the 7th inning. So if he's in the 7th inning, chances are he's kept the runs down. He's going to qualify for the win. I just don't want to touch that fantasy score. I don't think it's the best play. I don't like it. Like, this is what I think he'll be at, 37, 38. I think he'll be here before you add that quality start. And then it pushes that number over. All right, what do we have on Betr? Let me share the underdog slip link. If you want to play that 5 pick, if you have a play that you like, you can add it in and make it a 6 pick. I couldn't take it. I didn't have the patience for that shit this morning. So we just made a 5 pick. 5 pick is still pretty profitable, but 6 picks on underdog are much more profitable than any other pick'em site. So was really trying to get a 6 pick in there. So on Betr, we already know that we have Paul Skeens over 0.5 strikeout prop that we can play. So that's all. That's going to be our first pick. I think it is a $10 max on that one. So you can put $10 on one slip. You can build it out however you want, make multiple slips. So you don't always see green squares on Betr, but what we do want to look for is, 5+, maybe 4+ data points that are in favor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 7, 5, another 7, another 5, another 7. So right off the bat, the first 5 plays can be considered. Under bases for Westberg, under runs for Lane Thomas, under earned runs. Now you cannot play, I don't think they'll let you play this Rodriguez Westberg in the same lineup because that's actually positive correlation. So you may have to skip maybe Rodriguez. You got Wallner over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Those are always fun to play. The 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, because 0.5 is a line that you usually see for total bases. Now you're getting it for a line that is giving you 3 opportunities to get the over. Just needs 1. Corey Lee over his hits. You got Polanco under his hits, runs, and RBIs. Perez over 0.5 runs. Ketel Marte over 0.5 runs. Yeah, there's a lot to work with here. I'll build out a Betr slip and I'll throw it in the Discord. I usually have to build those out on my phone. I don't have my phone in front of me, so I'm not able to build out a slip. But for instance, if you were playing on Betr right now and you already have Paul Skeens in your, that's your first pick, you already got him selected, you could go with something like this. In my opinion, the 5 pick on Betr is the best. It's the best way to build a slip. 6 pick will only give you a 20x if you get all 6 right, and they only give you a 1x for 5 out of 6. So the payouts are not as good. If you're gonna play higher than a 5 pick, look to the 7 and 8 man slips, even though they obviously they're harder to hit, but the payouts are really good. And even the payouts for getting 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, those are really good. So if you're going to build out a 5 pick, you can go with this Jordan Westberg under bases, Lane Thomas under runs, Wallner over hits, runs, and RBIs, and then Corey Lee over his hits prop today. You add in that Paul Skeens, that should get you pretty close to a plus EV slip right there. Let me remove my, well, not remove, but let me just move my little square there. So there you can see the full screen. So I'm not blocking anything. All right. Alec Marsh outs under 16.5. Let's take a look at Alec Marsh. Right now it's drawing even. Oh, wrong line. So right now it is minus 129 to go under. Sometimes, man. Technology today is on the struggle bus. Just technology in general. Not able to pull up these graphs right now. We can still look at the odds. 16.5 to go under on Bet, MGM, FanDuel, Caesars, and Pinnacle. Pinnacle is actually giving you the best odds. If you were considering taking the over, that's the closest line that you will find. It's only separated by 2. And it's the highest that you can see for the over. So if you wanted to go over, he's only gone over this in 2 of his last 5 and 4 of his last 10. Has yet to go over this versus the White Sox this season. In terms of BVP, you have 1, 2, 3 guys in this lineup that do hit him well or have hit him well. And then versus just right-handed pitching, the team itself is not that strong versus righties. They are striking out at a 24% rate this season. It's pretty bad. If you wanted to look to Alec Marsh's strikeouts today, are they really at 5.5? They're getting massive juice to the under. He only has 3 games to look at versus the White Sox. He hasn't done it yet against the White Sox. 2 out of his last 5, and then 4 out of his last 10. There you go. There's some graphs. Can we get the one for the outs? There you go. There you go. It looks like the unders are in play for Alec Marsh. All right, let's go back to PrizePicks, since that was the one that was building a PrizePicks slip was the easiest. Lines don't really bump too often not as often as underdog. Also, you can correlate. You can actually play players on esports from the same team, or excuse me, from the same game. They will not reduce payout, but if you try to put from the same team, they will. So PrizePicks is not as strict on the correlation as underdog. So looking at the outs for Alec Marsh, there is a under on his pitching fantasy score on PrizePicks, set to 30, 27.5, and 20. So when we looked at his numbers on props.cash, you saw that his strikeouts were getting juiced to the under. And then you saw that his outs were getting juiced to the under. If you wanted to do a quick build for a fantasy score, if he is set to go under on strikeouts and gets you 5, and then he's set to go under pitching outs and he finishes with, I don't know, 16, that's 31 fantasy points. Projected odds say he goes under 2.5 earned runs. But 15, again, 15 plus 16 is 31. If he just gives up 1 earned run, that's 28. If he gives up 2 earned runs, that's 25 fantasy points. If he only gives you 15, if he only gives you 16 outs, he's not going to qualify for the quality start bonus. So then his fantasy is right at that 27, 28. And he needs 31 to go over. So you're starting to see multiple player props add up to way under 30. So if you wanted to just go under on his fantasy, you could, because you do have a lot of data that likes that under. Yeah, under on Marsh makes sense, especially after looking at those projections. It is always nice when you have the under on a fantasy score, and then you have the odds that back it up with his outs and earned runs. Same thing with a hitter. If you have the over on a hitter fantasy score, and then you're getting positive odds for hits, runs, and RBIs or stolen base, then it's really easy to build it. Then it makes more sense. The ones that are tricky is when you see the over on a fantasy score and you just can't figure out how they're going to get there. So at that point, you either have to trust the books. It's in your hands, like, you know, you're smart, or just stay away from it. If I can't figure out how it's going to get there, if I can't see a clear path, I'll probably just stay away from it, honestly. Damn, I want to play this Giannis line so bad. Is he even on is he on PrizePicks? Just he is, but he's not on PrizePicks for his PRA. He's not on Underdog. So I don't know if this means that he's not on there now, but he will be added later. But this is showing that he should be there and he's not. What I like to do on Underdog, because you can't play multiple players from the same team, is sometimes you're going to get players from the same team that are all favored to go over. Since you can only put one in your slip, just go back and make a second slip, just replacing one for the other. That's how you can take advantage of all the value out there. So like you have ICMM under, and then you have Ale under. You can only put one in your slip. You just build 2 slips and you just put one in each. Same thing with this South Sudan team. You can go under on Shayok, which is what we did in our slip. And then if you wanted to play the under on JT Thor, you could also do that. But JT Thor is only getting you 1 data point. And all you do is just go down the line and find multiple players from the same team and just kind of build it. It all depends on your bankroll too. If you don't have a lot to work with, then you probably don't want to, you know, well, you can do what you want to do actually. So yeah, I guess it does depend on your bankroll. Maybe you aren't able to build out 10 slips a day. Maybe you're only able to build out 4 or 5 slips a day, but that's the way you can leverage all the value. Alec Marsh is trending on Underdog at 29.5 pitcher fantasy score. So this one's looking better and better. Unlike the Paul Skeens play, where, I mean, literally everything that we saw for Paul Skeens spoke opposite of what the line is saying. This Alec Marsh is actually lining up with what we're seeing. So I would be more likely to play the under on Alec Marsh than the under on Paul Skeens. This Spencer Steer, I'm not really understanding that. Obviously, he does have a home run and a double. But it's only 10 o'clock. Okay, so you're not going to find the best value, all the value at 10 a.m. So it's just a matter of checking back in. All right. Phillies and Yankees. Who do you think will win this one? I got my money on the Yankees. Philly's been raking lately, right? Did they sweep the Guardians? I know that Saturday took the over Carrasco earned runs, and I think through 4 innings he had not given up 1 earned run. I was like, oh man, this guy's turning back the hands of time. This guy's gonna come out there and be vintage Carrasco. Before he was diagnosed with cancer, Carrasco was a beast. I mean, I would say he was definitely top 5 in the MLB. Just a really strong pitcher, and obviously coming back from almost dying has an impact. He's just not the same, and he's older, so it's like, Carrasco's turning back the hand of time, and then he gives up 6 earned runs just like that. Yeah, the Phillies blew him up. All right, so check this out. Over on props.cash, they run a morning blog every day. Well, just about every day. We just got through talking about Alec Marsh. Got the under on his earned runs projected. I mean, the odds say 135 under this, but let's look at the games. You can even read this out if you want to. He's allowed more than 2 earned runs in 7 of his last 10. He's averaging 3.3. White Sox on the season are ranked last both in weighted and WRC and OBP. So that's working actually in favor of Alec Marsh. But we have 2 lines on Underdog and PrizePicks that are favoring the under on his fantasy. So even if he doesn't give up 3 earned runs, if he just gives up 2, it's not looking like he's striking out 8 or 9, and it doesn't look like he's going very deep into the game. So this should not impact fantasy score too much. Matt Vierling, under 145. He has gone over this in 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 10. Flaherty, strikeouts. It is always interesting to me when we see unders on player props and the game logs look like that. You would think that going 12 out of his last 15, 13 out of his last 15, 15 out of his last 18 would look different in terms of the odds, but odds have him going under -131. Gleyber Torres has been on a tear. We just talked about the Yankees, right? I mean, Gleyber Torres, he roasted Boston. Logan Gilbert over pitching outs. Damn, Logan Gilbert's been going deep into games. Yeah, this is all very helpful information. The only issue with some of these plays is you're not always going to find them on pick'em sites. So honestly, the better a play looks, the more likely it's not on a pick'em site. The more likely it is you're going to have to go find it on a book. All right. So Logan Gilbert, see, pitching out 17.5. Good luck. 17.5 is now his Goblin, which is a reduced payout. But based off what we just saw for Logan Gilbert, he's averaging basically 20 pitching outs in his last 5 and 20 in his last 10. 20 pitching outs versus Boston. I don't always like to play demon props because they're very risky. The upside is there, but if you're trying to build bankroll and profit, playing a lot of demon props is not smart. But if you wanted to roll with a demon prop, I mean, this 18.5 pitching out for Logan Gilbert does look pretty good based off what we just saw for his last 15 games, and his numbers against Boston are strong. 18.5 is well within 20 pitching out. So, I mean, he does need to pitch basically into the 6th inning. 18 is 16. He needs to complete the 6th inning. So he basically needs to go 20, 21, something like that. I mean, 6 2/3 actually will get him the over, right? 6 1/3 actually. 6 1/3 will get him 19 pitching outs. So 6 1/3 innings is what he needs today. That one may not be a bad one to start with. And if anything, you can use it as just a payout boost to help just add more money to your slip. That one's not too bad. Verdugo finally got his bat going. 0 for 25 against the 0-25 Verdugo was versus Boston. Are you serious? Ever since like leaving Boston to go to New York, he was 0 for 25. Let's see if we can. I didn't see this one, Mark. My bad. How do we feel about Elly De La Cruz runs? Let's look at it. Let's go and take a look over on props.cash. Elly De La Cruz over runs. Who's pitching in this game? Tyon and Spires. Is this game in Cincinnati? It is. All right, so let's take a look at his numbers versus Chicago. This is what we're looking at from here. So 2 runs scored in the last 6 games. That's this season. Last 5 games, 3 runs, all in 1 game. And then in his last 10, he scored 1 or more run in 4. He has 2 games where he got you 2 or more. Today he's not projected to go over, but his odds say yes. -125 to the over, 105 to the under. So it's not a clean line. There's a little bit of juice on the under, but we do like seeing 3 different books favoring the over. Unfortunately, you cannot score a run by yourself, right? You accumulate your total bases by yourself, your hits by yourself, but you cannot score a run unless somebody drives you home. So today he's projected for 0.5 total bases. Well, we first need to get him on base. So we got to figure out if he's going to get on base either by walk or by hits. He's projected to go over hits, runs, and RBI. So not projected, but the odds say yes. Two books like the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs. All right, well, I mean, fuck. He has to get on base, right? Because you can't score a run unless you're on base. He can get an RBI without actually getting a hit. You can get a sac fly RBI. So someone has to give. He's going to get hit, right? He's projected for 1 hit. He gets on base. I think he gets on base and he scores a run. I think that's how he goes over his hits, runs, and RBIs. So you can look at it like that. His numbers against Taillon, a homer and an RBI. So solo shot, I bet he has 4 strikeouts versus this guy. 66% strikeout rate versus Taillon. So yeah, he strikes out a lot, man. What does it look like for his strikeouts? I mean, in his last 10 games, he's averaging 11 strike. He's averaging 1 strikeout per game, basically. Oof. Yeah, if you want to go over on his runs, it makes sense. I mean, his hits, runs, and RBIs are getting good, or a lot of juice to the over. And he is projected for a hit. So as a single, more than likely gets a single. And then you just got to hope that somebody drives him in. And who could that be? Maybe Candelario. I mean, first inning, India, De La Cruz, Candelario, some combination of these 3 guys in the top lineup and top of the lineup. Yeah, I think the question is, you know, if you got him going over scoring a run, then like who's going to drive him in? Can't score a run by yourself. I mean, can you steal home? You can steal home. That's a run, right? That's possible. Oh, okay. Oh, just like in general, just like, okay, that's even worse. Because every guy sucks against one team, right? There's that one team that just always has your number, but he was just in a slump in life. Yeah, that's rough. 25 at bats. So what is that? 8 games? 8-game slump? Oof. That's tough. When you are in a slump, I think it's harder to get out of a slump than it is to keep a streak going. Like you're on an 8-game, 9-game hitting streak. You just got momentum, right? Your confidence is high. You're in a slump. It's the opposite, man. All that's working against you, get inside your head. These dudes are professionals, though. I'm pretty sure they're just like, shit happens. I don't think they beat themselves up too much. I'm pretty sure they have team psychotherapists and psychiatrists and shit that help them with like mental exercises to keep them from jumping off a building or something when they're slumping like that. All right, so it's PrizePicks. I'm just looking for value here. Really not seeing a whole lot on PrizePicks. You know, there are days like this where PrizePicks is just not the preferred pick'em site. You just no need to force anything. If the value's not there, I mean, it's all good. Just wait a few hours or play tomorrow, or maybe not at all for that day. I don't know, but there is never a good reason to force plays. Like there's never a good reason. You just wait. Go play somewhere else. Uvalde pitcher fantasy score 32.5. This one's getting massive juice to the under. Kyle Schwarber under his hits, runs, and RBIs. You got Ionescu still there. That's a good sign. This fucking guy is not on underdog. There's LeBron James. Giannis is not. I don't know why these are showing they're not on underdog. Paul Skeens again. There's Mariel. Here's a new one. Angel Martinez, Angel Martinez, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got him in our slip, and there's Realmuto over. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 rebounds. That's minus 132 on FanDuel, minus 130 on DraftKings. Anthony Edwards to go over 3.5 rebounds. This is for Wednesday. That one looks pretty good. 3.5 is a pretty low number. I know we only look on Underdog and PrizePicks and Betr. Those are my preferred pick'em sites. I need to get better at just showing you all what else is available. So on Parlay Play, if you play on Parlay Play, you can see what's available. So check this shit out. Elly De La Cruz over 0.5 stolen bases. What was it, his last game? He had 3 hits. He had 3 singles and 3 stolen bases. So basically what he was doing is he was getting on base, stealing second. He did that 3 times in one game. I think he finished with almost 30 fantasy points that game. The stolen base doesn't hurt his run, scoring a run upside. It doesn't guarantee shit though, because if he steals second, somebody still has to drive him home, you know? So it doesn't, what it does is it'll eliminate the double play opportunity, but it doesn't guarantee that he scores. So unless he steals home, but that's encouraging. If his stolen base is in play on Parlay Play, he does have a stolen base prop on PrizePicks. But you could also look to his fantasy score, because you can't steal a base unless you get on base. And let's say he gets walked and he steals second, and that's 7 fantasy points. And if he scores a run, then that's 9 fantasy points. If he gets a single and steals second and scores a run, then that's 10 fantasy points. So if you wanted to build a risky play, you can add in the stolen base prop for De La Cruz along with Gilbert. I think if you wanted to go a more conservative play, you can look to his fantasy score, because that is inclusive of everything. And then you can also look to his runs. But even though there's not a lot of value out there right now, you can use different pick'em sites to help you build out a slip on another pick'em site. Now he is projecting, I mean, they have his line going under hits, runs, and RBIs. But that's fine. Now this is on Parlay Play. We're just looking through Parlay Play. Let's take a look at Dabble. If you guys play on Dabble, that Elly De La Cruz is interesting though. Stolen bases are worth 5 points on PrizePicks. Salvador Perez under 2 bases. You got Pavetta under 2 runs. You got, I don't like these flat numbers like this. Yeah. No, I don't like these numbers like that. Where else? Where else do y'all play? Let me know. I'm going to look up the sports betting. So this is the sports betting app on OddsJam. I can't place any bets on books, but I can still look up plus EV plays through this app. Sometimes there are some that aren't shown on the fantasy optimizer. Currently nothing showing right now. See, I have to filter to just Texas books. And then usually when I do that, there's nothing left. Like there's nothing to filter because there's no plays, basically. Pete Alonso over, this is a home run prop. Yeah. Sometimes there's nothing going on. We built out 2 slips today. We built out a slip on underdog. We built out a slip on PrizePicks. Yeah, sometimes there's just not a whole lot going on. There's really nothing else to say. So built out 2 slips in spite of lack of value. And I think that's going to be it. Don't forget about the Paul Skeens promo on Betr. If you don't have an account on Betr, scan my QR code, sign up, get a deposit match, and then play the over on this Paul Skeens 0.5 strikeout prop today. I'm going to build out a slip. I'll throw it in the Discord. I'll share it with everybody there. So I'll make sure that's done. And then I got a YouTube short coming out this afternoon. I'm going to be highlighting 3 value plays across 3 different pick'em sites. So if you are in need of extra plays, be sure you have your notifications turned on so you don't miss out on those plays. Yesterday was not the best day. We go 1 and 2, but before yesterday, we're on a nice little 4-day streak there, getting 2 or more wins. So it was a pretty good week yesterday for our value plays. But it's gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 slips built out. I don't know if those plays are still available on the boards, but you can scroll through the chat. You can find the links. You can use those links, or you can use whatever's left of them to help out, or to help building out a slip. But it's going to do it. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Hopefully tomorrow's value is a lot better than today's. We also have Taco Tuesday tomorrow. Typically what you see in the industry is pick'em sites trying to match other pick'em sites. So PrizePicks has Taco Tuesday. I expect a promo on Underdog, and I expect promos on Betr as well. So Tuesdays are typically where you just try to keep up. You see different pick'em sites trying to keep up with everybody else. So whatever is going to bring people in, whatever promo they can come up with, they'll throw it out there. So we'll try to build out some slips. I think we got some pretty good plays in. We couldn't get them all in today, but as long as we get some profit out of it, that's all I care about. Consider subbing up to the channel, hit that like button, and click that notification icon. I hope all of your player props respect the coin. Appreciate y'all being here once again. And until tomorrow's 9 a.m. live stream, Chavez is out.